I might include some of the wild dreams I had last night, but I had YouTube playing in the background, so I don't know. That was part of the night, and I don't know, when I had these dreams, if these dreams were influenced by YouTube videos or not. I may include them later. I may not. I don't know. Next thing I want to get is for James Comey. Now, if you don't know, um, there's apparently an image or a video that he had made. Now, I don't know if he found these with two numbers written in seashells on the beach. Of course, he could arrange them himself. He could have very easily meant, well, the two numbers were 86 and 74. Now, there's a message that you can't interpret from those two numbers. I'm not going to tell you what that is. I think you can probably figure that out for yourself. If you don't and really, really want me to explain it, you can send me an email. I'll explain it. But I think you can probably figure out what a message could be interpreted from that. But to me, that's kind of a stretch. And maybe the guy meant something mean by that. I don't know. But I think, they've charged him with a crime. To me, all I got to say is, look, this is free speech. Or, I just found this in video. That's what he's saying. He said, I just found this in video. That wasn't me. That I just thought these were two cool numbers. I think it's going to be a real stretch for any prosecutors to try to get anywhere from that. I think it's probably just kind of blow over. Next thing I'm going to cover, these net influencers. This is something that Laurie had covered a couple of days ago. Now I've never really followed any of these people. This is not really what I watch here on YouTube. Now, there's apparently quite a few people that will follow this, what they call net influencers, individuals that will live a very lavish lifestyle. They'll have to buy, expensive clothing. They'll have to buy expensive objects, and people want those expensive items. They want to wear the expensive clothing. I've never been one of those people. That's never been my lifestyle. I've never decided to follow any of these. Apparently, there's quite a following from some of these people, and Lori was commenting that for a period of time she had followed these. I guess for me, because I've got a very strong self-image of myself, and I don't need someone else to tell me what to wear, what to buy, that type of thing. For net influencers, if you care to waste your life following one of them, that's your right. I'm gonna guess you probably don't have any real strong self-image. That's gotta be my guess. Like I said, from a little kid, I've had a fairly strong self-image that influences really. I might watch one here and there, but it's not my thing to even watch these videos. Last thing I'm going to cover is for Colin Brown. I don't know if I know he's watched some of my videos. I don't know if he's watched anything recently. I know he has watched because I've commented on his. I've watched his channel for quite a number of years now. His channel is The Paranormal Files. He's done paranormal ghost type stuff. He's done true crime type stuff. This last video that he's posted is over in Italy. It's an island of Sicily. There's been a handful of YouTube individuals that have covered this. They're more the urbex type videos. Quite a number of people. There's 3 or 4 villages. I guess this was back in the late 1960s, and a very strong earthquake had hit this. I'm thinking a lot of these buildings were older buildings. They were stone. They were stone and brick. Some of them were actually underground. Built back into the mountainside, I think, as I remember. Anyway, it killed between 200 and 400 people in this earthquake in 1968. And my understanding was that the government had come in there, had just declared the entire city unsafe, had paid everybody off and bought everybody, or maybe they made a land swap for some, but for some, the government had stepped in there and relocated everybody one way or another. That was my understanding from some. Of course, this may be a different city. This may be a different city in a different country, because there were 3 or 4 of those villages in different parts of mainly through Europe, that that earthquake had hit. It may have been the same earthquake, just hit different cities, and some of it devastated. But I said these were old stone buildings, and they weren't really earthquake proof. It wasn't an area really known for earthquakes, so they didn't really enforce various codes that would have protected the people a little bit better. From my understanding, what Colin was saying, that the people just chose to leave. I don't think that's the case. I think they were forced out, either compensated or not. I don't know, but I think they were the city was declared unsafe and the people were forced out. That was my understanding. I said that may be a different city. I'm not sure. Okay, I love y'all.